We're live.
Mostly, it's like CBD, and every once in a while, like a little bit of edibles here and there. Like, and me, I'm the California prick, as you would probably call me, Fred. That is more like I'm old and I need to not feel so beat up and stuff. So I'll have my CBD and stuff, but
Hey man, sometimes I need help going to sleep. All right, and that shit is medicine, folks. All right, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Keyboard Warriors. We are the Keyboard Warriors, presented by RepTheWarriors.com. My name's Eddie Law. That's Fred Kirby. That's Jesse Rubacava hanging out. If you guys saw any of Jesse's shit, homeboy is one wheel short. What exactly happened to your car? Because you kind of talked about it a little bit, but you said your axle broke. But are you just driving and it just broke? Did you hit like a fucking pothole or what?
No, you know what? Like I'm probably the worst person with cars. Like I'm kind of that dude that's like, it still drives. And so my car has just kind of been acting funky. And I guess I just waited way too long. And I guess without grease, my lower control arm, if you want to get technical, my lower control arm basically had no grease. It finally broke while I turned. Good thing I wasn't on the freeway. Good thing my kids weren't in the car with me. So yeah, it's just me by myself at low speeds, and it just broke. So, yeah, fun
You're
times.
Lucky as fuck. You're lucky as fuck that didn't happen on the freeway, dude. Anyway, shout out to everyone in the comment section already. MMA God's hanging out. QC, what's up? What's up? Fight for your right. What up, dude? ELC, how you doing? Yeah, everyone's here, so we're all chilling and everything. Let's see. No one's really bringing up any topics yet, so we'll just get right into. There's not a lot of fucking shit to talk about, just for the fact that there hasn't been shit. Not shit. There haven't been a lot going down recently, right?
Well, I mean, okay, look, I think the biggest thing right now is how the UFC is kind of really pushing hard for the Conor McGregor Cowboy Cerrone fight that's coming up soon. And honestly, it's been kind of nice to kind of go back and see a lot of the fights, the Cowboy fights, the Conor McGregor fights, because if you follow them on any social media, they're posting the fights from, the greatest hits basically right now. Right. So it's kind of awesome to see and kind of relive those moments. I'm sure, Fred, every time they post a Conor McGregor fight, I mean, you must get ready to cash that check and, put your dick in your hand and talk about Conor McGregor. But what do you guys think about how they're making this kind of, to me, it kind of seems like kind of a nostalgia run where they're showing you the best of Conor, the best of Cowboy, and like they're doing this nice big push towards this event.
I don't see it like that at all. I don't see. I don't give a shit about their old fights.
Yeah,
I know what Fight Pass is. You understand me? If I wanted to watch old Conor McGregor fights, I'd go back to fucking Fight Pass, and I think I'm still paying fucking $6.99 a month for God knows what at this point. The fucking EBI or the like. Yeah, no, I don't give a shit about that. You know what I want to see? I want to see those cute cocksuckers in the same room. I want to fucking hear that you're stiff as a board. I wish I could do a good Irish accent. I got nothing for the Irish accent, but that's what I want to fucking hear. I want to see Conor in fucking action.
Yeah, straight up.
Their old fights. I want to see. I would like to see the media rounds.
Let's go. What though? You'll get your chance. All right, January 15th. They have the press conference at 2:46. And it's free. You know how they've been like shutting these down for a minute now? Like they weren't letting people in. This is open to the public for free. Like you're gonna get that they bullshit from everybody and all that. So it's gonna get dope in there. So it's I normally even the Conor ones recently I haven't watched. And honestly, and people are like, "Oh, I can't believe you don't watch." I'm like, I don't care. I want to see the fight. I might actually tune in to see. Not that actually letting people in there, like how crazy that gets. Because those are actually like it'd be fun to go to one just one time, right? Because say whatever you want about Conor McGregor, those fuckers, his people roll hard and deep.
Jesse? That's probably one of the things that I enjoy about the Conor McGregor events is that if you're able to go to the weigh-ins, those regular fan, it's amazing because you're surrounded by savages that care about anybody else on the card. They just care about their guy. But the energy they bring is so amazing. It's like, I mean, being at like one of the soccer games and all the hooligans are, behind their team and you're on the same team with them. And as long as you're not a Conor McGregor hater, they welcome you. you know, like I said, with my experience, you know, you go to a bar with them, and you know, and you'll be drinking with them, you'll be partying with them. Before you know it, you got a few Irish buddies. It's a fun time. So if you have the chance to go to this, but like I said, I really am enjoying the fact that at least a lot of people that have maybe forgotten about Conor McGregor's achievements are getting to see some of this. I get it, Fred. For the three of us, it's not really doing much, right? To see those old fights. But I'm saying, like, for the new and for the fans that like kind of maybe have forgotten about Conor McGregor and what he's looked like in the octagon, in the cage, seeing those old fights, it kind of just brings that like emotion of like, man, this guy's like, he's really, really good. And then you see some of Cowboys fights and you're like, man, this guy's really good too. Like, you know, like it gives you that like emotion of like, wow, this could be a really good fight. I'm not saying for us three, I'm saying for like the people that are kind of forgetting about Conor McGregor. I know you haven't forgotten about him, Fred. Trust me. I know you're still cashing those checks every week.
Good, Jesus. Well, now that you've spoken for the fucking commoner, the goddamn motherfucking Bud Light fan, I'll speak for the fucking hardcore fans and say that I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Conor needs to get his funny little small Irish ass in front of a camera and start shooting his mouth off. And I'll tell you another thing, one past that, he better have a good goddamn performance next Saturday night or he's going to get a real fucking wake-up call. He can shoot his mouth off all he wants. At the end of the day, the pressure is on Conor here. Not only does he need a win, but he needs to win impressively.
Yep.
He handpicked this fight, and we all know it. Like, no matter how you cut the cake, I love Conor, but like we all know he should be fighting Justin Gaethje. Like,
you know what? He's got to show up. He's got to have like a really good performance, but he's got to show that he's the same or better than he used to be. If he shows any chink in the armor, that is going to be like, do we really want to see him in a Khabib fight again? Do we really want to see that shit? He ain't got any better. He's just a bigger dude.
Bro, if he sparks Donald out in the first round, you're still going to have people like he don't deserve the Khabib fight that quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
like
Dana White can actually like bull. I mean, look, if you can sell a title shot off a fucking Dennis Seaver win, you can sell a rematch off of this shit.
Okay, listen. First off, now with the Dennis Seaver win, that was a different time, different space. He was supposed to be fighting somebody else. It's
still bullshit.
You motherfuckers.
Still bullshit.
Look, wait, Fred. I'm gonna help you with this defense. And he was on a good run, moving up in the division. He actually was one of the guys to hand Max Holloway a defeat before Max Holloway, became the guy that he is. Okay, beside the point.
I know this fucking.
Look. I'm the sensible guy here, but I mean, even I'm like, man, you can't go on Conor that hard. But I think you're right. I think the fact that if it doesn't go well for Conor McGregor in this fight, I mean, Fred, do you see this as like maybe a curtain call? Say he gets KO'd, say he just looks terrible, gasses out, like, because of the fact that, like, what scares me the most, honestly, is all this talk about how great Conor looks right now. His coaches, right?
Yeah,
just waving that flag, right? Waving that flag. Oh, this is the best he's ever looked. I mean, he's gonna do this. He's looking the best ever, blah, blah, blah. To me, it's just like a smoke screen, right? Like, it just feels so like not like Kavanaugh, right? Because I don't remember Kavanaugh doing this before all his other fights. Like, they would say like, oh yeah, he's doing good, he's doing great, he's on point where he should be, but not like this, not like really praising him like he's the next like GSP, like the next coming of Anderson Silva, we're about to see. Like, it just seems a little too much like performance before the actual performance.
We'll see. One thing I love about this sport, man, this shit ain't the WWE, Jack. We'll see. Like, they can talk all they want, but next Saturday night we got to fight. So, I mean, I hope they ain't building it up to a point to where like they build it up and then he comes out and doesn't exceed that expectation. That wouldn't be great.
Right. All right.
I mean, at this point, don't you kind of think that Dana White probably is hoping that, or would want it to be more WWE at this point, so they could keep that cash cow, like, they could keep milking that cash cow?
It already is.
No, wait. But I'm saying in the sense like that they could already know that he's going to win this fight, so they could do Fred Kirby's game plan of win this fight, give him Justin Gaethje, win that fight, go up against Khabib, and make the biggest event possible, and everybody gets to, cash in.
Look. I'm not going to let y'all do this no more. Y'all Y'all be running so wild and talking so reckless on Dana's name, man. Like, look, man, look. Do people want? Do the UFC brass have an interest in Conor winning this fight? Sure. But all y'all, dog, if Conor does get knocked out, say Conor gets starched, y'all gonna be so quick to rush to Twitter with the memes of Dana with the fucking oxygen mask, bro. Conor ain't fought but one time in like the last 3 or 4 years, and the UFC is chugging along. If Conor McGregor got hit by a bus tomorrow, do y'all really think the UFC would implode or DW would just hang itself? Like, this shit is really nothing, man. Chuck Liddell came and went. Matt Hughes came and went. Ronda Rousey came and went.
Yep.
Women's MMA didn't go with her. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. If Conor wins with a big punch, I'm sure there'll be a little yes, because they know that big paycheck's around the corner. But
Right.
people act like if Conor loses, DW is just going to be at the bottom of a whiskey bottle. Bro, this is what he does. Like, it'll be all right. It'll be all right one way or the other. Believe me.
No.
You think they don't know that Conor might fuck around and lose this fight? Like,
well, okay. I think you're right, but I also fear for the people like Endeavor, like the people in the back. Remember, these are the same people that when they book Ronda Rousey against Amanda Nunes, they were saying that Ronda Rousey was going to murder Amanda Nunes in the back to Joe Rogan. Now, remember that story. And Fred, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, don't you think that Dana White wishes that he could continue this escalation of getting Conor McGregor the fights that he needs to be a big star in the UFC? I'm not saying that the UFC is going to collapse just because of Conor. I'm just saying, don't you think at this point Dana White wishes he could peer into the future and go, okay, Conor wins this fight, he wins the next fight, I'm making all this money and I'm happy. Sure. Like you said, if he wins like impressively, you really know it's on camera, right?
Yeah, look, yeah, exactly. I mean, again, don't get it wrong. Conor winning is definitely good for business, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. There's Israel Adesanya, John Jones is back, fucking Chinese broad that might be the next new big thing that might have 2 billion fans in China on the line. Like, there's always the next one. With that being said, would they like to see Conor get a big win and keep wringing this fucking rag dry? Of course they would. Like, let's not be goofy here. But I don't think, like, people be tripping like he's just going to fucking spaz out and die if Conor loses. It is what it is, man. That's what makes this sport so great. Conor might fuck around and lose. Like, if that was the case, he wouldn't have lost to Nate that first time. Like,
pretty much.
Shit just happens. That's what makes this shit so fucking entertaining. You never know.
I hear you, man. All right, let's get some more comments in here because there's a buttload. Actually, just on that, and we'll get back to the 246. But what do you think about Joanna versus Weili Zhang? I didn't realize how much size Weili had.
Listen, I am one for a hype.
For that fight.
I'm one for a hype train. So I love Weili Zhang. I'm going with her. I'm rooting for her. I'm about to motherfucking get some Chinese shit tattooed on my goddamn elbow or something. I'm ready. Like, I love that shit. Joanna had your time, Jack. You did what you could with Poland. They ain't really come around like that. So sorry.
Jesse Bill for a second. He'll be back hopefully. He's outside Starbucks with that questionable Wi-Fi.
Not only do I want to see her win, and do I think she's gonna win, I want to see her win with a knockout. I want to keep this shit rolling. I think
I want to see her reign for a long time. Honestly.
Yeah, man. Just like we were just saying. I mean, will she have the same connection and appeal as Conor McGregor? Probably not. But could she still be a fucking massive star and kickstart some shit in China? Very well. Very much good. You know what I mean?
China's blowing up right now with that.
Exactly.
With her, the PI is supposed to like fucking make the one in Vegas look like a regular UFC gym and shit.
Now, as far as the actual fight goes, I think this will be a great fight for us to see exactly where Zhang sits.
Right.
Like, we know she's got power, but Joanna's a fantastic striker. So can she knock out Joanna? If she can do that, then I think we get to really fucking kind of plant our flag and be like, yo, we got a new queen. Who wants some other than Thug Rose? Like, y'all better motherfucking start training, Jack.
Right. No, that'd be a dope fight. I'm waiting for that fight, but for the same reason you're saying, we need to see kind of where Zhang was really at. Was that win over Andrade a fluke? I don't think it was. But was it a fluke? Was it because Andrade had to go to China for it? Well, why? You know,
Right.
We'll find out. if Joanna can outpoint her, or God forbid, fucking knock her out, like then we'll be like, oh, it was all hype, it was all a fluke, whatever. But if she comes out and starches Joanna, god damn, that'd be fucking crazy.
I mean, what would you want as what do you think is the ideal outcome here? To me, I think that Weili Zhang, whatever,
Zhang, yeah.
She needs to have yet another performance that's amazing to really put a stamp on her championship, right? Because to me, it kind of seems like a lot of people are kind of underestimating her, and even taking her for granted, because a lot of people are saying the whole fluke thing with Andrade, So I think this is one of the most key matchups for her. But I also think that if she wins impressively, people are gonna really quick, and I could almost see it, right? Really quick, they're gonna be like, well, Joanna's past her prime. She was overhyped. She wasn't as good as we thought. Blah 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 blah. Right? Like I could already see people trying to like minimize the win if she's impressive. I think it has to be like an impressive showing, but I'm also afraid that too many of these like clickbait sites are going to minimize her win over her if she does look very impressive.
Let me just say something right now. For everybody that does do that to fighters, especially when it's fucking ill and undeserved, you're haters. Like when one fighter has a good performance, the first thing you do is start blaming it on the other one being a shitbird. You're just a hater. Yep. Like, give that credit where it's deserved, man. These fucking everybody's tough in this game. Everybody brings their A game. Like, don't be like, oh, Nate Diaz was never that good. Nah, Jorge's just a beast. Like, Nate is a bad motherfucker. Jorge's just that badder. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Give credit where it's due. Don't try to start hating to me. I can't stand that shit.
That's like when people vote. It's like it's like sometimes they'll vote against somebody. They won't vote for somebody. That's kind of like a similar like little analogy. But all right, Uncle Hank says I'd rather see Conor in court. Whatever happened to that? We haven't heard shit about that.
Man, he had raped them girls. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. Speaking of fucking haters, all of MMA Twitter. I can't believe he's getting a fight when he raped all those women. Can y'all look down? He didn't rape nobody. At least there's no unequivocal proof of anything. Y'all be tripping over.
No.
Here's the thing. Even if there is evidence that he did anything, this is America. This is the place where that judge gave that, like, was leaning on the little Stanford dipshit who got caught raping a chick outside a fucking bar and said, "Oh, we can't do that because he has a promising career as a swimmer." All right, that's this country. Y'all can get mad about me saying that, but that's factual fucking shit that happened. Google it.
That's definitely true, and that definitely makes us shitbirds. But I don't even want to justify it by saying that. I'm just gonna say it ain't been no proof. Like,
we haven't seen anything.
We are just crucifying the dude without any proof of anything. Like the New York Times wrote one article. I mean,
right, and
really it blew up. If the motherfucker really did something, let me tell you something, Jack. They put Mike Tyson in prison when he was a fucking king.
Yeah.
If Conor McGregor raped somebody, and listen. Maybe it's different in Ireland.
Especially if it's here.
Right. If he rapes somebody fucking here, he'll go to fucking prison. Or he'll lose millions and millions. They put Floyd Mayweather in prison. You think Floyd ain't a bigger fucking star than Conor? Like, let's not get it twisted, dog. Right. Conor's cute. But if he does something like that and they can prove it, like, he's fucked. Jail. And the fact that he is out here fighting means that more than likely, whatever they got going is not enough to put him nowhere near a jail cell.
It means that the Irish government and whoever else handles that shit over there was like, yeah, he can go to another fucking country.
Yeah, I mean,
the evidence might just not be there, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it when it first started happening, right? Like, maybe Dana White and the UFC were kind of hesitant to book him, but the fact that they booked him in a fight and that they went through the whole process of making sure that he was able to be here, all this stuff, and put all this media behind it, means that they knew that everything was in the clear. They're not going to risk sinking millions, because it's millions to do all the promotion, to do everything that they have to do into a fight that they're not even sure might go through, right? Like, I mean, just imagine Dana White's head, how red and how it might even explode if they were to do something that silly and then it falls through and they're just out of millions and millions of dollars where they have to refund a bunch of people's tickets, pay-per-view sales. Like, it would just be disastrous for them to even try to gamble on that sense. And you know what? Like, we talked about it before. Just because it's an Irish superstar in Ireland doesn't mean it's ours. just because we're in this MMA bubble, the world doesn't revolve around MMA. It could be some other Irish star that we just don't know about. It could be, so there was so many factors. I'm not defending him. You guys are right. But also, Fred, just because Floyd Mayweather did get sent to jail does not mean that this wonderful country of ours did not delay his sentence so he could have a fight and then get put in prison or jail for however long he was in. So this is the country that does allow people to grease the wheels a little bit and have some leniency in ways that normal people would not have leniency.
Listen, this is a country on earth indeed. We are not perfect, but his funny little small ass did go to jail. So, yeah, we be cheating and we ain't the most greatest people in the world, but he did go to prison. So it's like, yeah, we gonna get this money, but you is in trouble.
Yo, sorry, I just ran through this on Instagram. Bronze Bomber Deontay Wilder puts on an Instagram. Pope Francis names Deontay Wilder boxing ambassador for peace. I'm not shitting on him. I think it's great. I just didn't know that was a thing.
What happened?
Pope Francis named Deontay Wilder boxing ambassador for peace. I didn't know that was a thing.
Catholic?
I have no clue. I mean, he's from Alabama, right? I don't think it's a huge Catholic population. That's more, fuck.
I mean, I guess
Protestant. I don't know.
I guess they both
Baptist, right?
As far as it goes, but
there's more Baptist like country or something. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, that was the randomest shit ever. But yeah, I hear you guys. I mean, look, we gotta work with facts. We don't know shit, so we can't really say too much about him. That'd be fucking crazy though. If fucking after the fight comes out, that should actually happen.
Listen, I know I am always the one that rides Connor's nuts on this show.
Yeah, but you're also the one that if it comes out that he actually did it, you'd be the first one to be like, "Fuck that dude."
Oh yeah, no, for sure,
yeah.
Sure, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say I was going to take it. I was going to take the conversation in a different direction to actually kind of criticize Connor and his camp a little bit. Did you guys see the interview with Coach Kavanaugh on the backside?
No. I've just seen it on Twitter, man. I haven't had time. What do you say?
Did you not see the big headline that came out of the interview then?
The headlines that I've seen from about like with him in it or about him?
Coach Kavanaugh, the interview with his coach, yes.
Okay, no, all I've seen about Kavanaugh, he said something like, Connor knows more about fighting than all of us do and all this shit.
That would be the one. The one. Yes. So I watched the interview and there's no missing context. I watched the interview. He flat said that. He said basically in a nutshell, Connor knows more about fighting than the rest of us combined. Now, I guess maybe he did say it with a cunt hair's worth of
sarcasm.
Sarcasm possibly. But generally speaking, he seemed like he was kind of being truthful and honest. And again, now I am a self-admitted Connor nut hugger, but one would assume and hope that he does not know more than everybody in the camp about fucking fighting.
Right.
I mean that
in the wrong camp.
Right. That defeats the fucking purpose. No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this, Fred. Is it wrong maybe to say that someone is knowledgeable in something but can still learn from his coaches? Like, to me, I saw the quote also, like Eddie, I didn't hear it, but to me I kind of felt like that meant to say that he's, and what they've always said about Connor, right? He's a student of the game. Like, he understands patterns, he understands how people attack, how people use their rhythm, their footwork and everything. And I think he understands a lot of that stuff. Maybe he's not the greatest at implementing a lot of things, but like a good coach, right? Some of the best coaches aren't the best players, but they know how this stuff works, right? And so I think that maybe what he meant to say was he has a high IQ and that he knows a lot of stuff about the sport. Maybe not so much that he can implement it as well, but that he's very knowledgeable in the sport is something that I think, like I said, who knows if he meant to say that or if he's just dumb and said, yeah, he knows more than we do. Who knows?
Listen, I hope what the fuck he meant to say was Connor knows more about boxing than the rest of us combined in this gym. He said fighting. If there ain't nobody in that gym that knows more about grappling than Conor McGregor, we have a serious motherfucking problem. Like if Conor McGregor knows more about BJJ than whoever the fuck is his BJJ coach or his wrestling coach,
Dylan Dennis.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't think that's his fucking all the time coach.
I hope not.
But that would be a good fucking point. No, if Dylan's goofy little disgusting ass was actually in the gym, one would have to admit that Dylan Dennis does know more about grappling than Conor McGregor.
He better.
In a fight, Conor would probably win, and maybe in general overall knowledge he is. But saying that he knows more about fighting than all of us combined, get the fuck out of here.
Look, I have to go and like listen to it or watch it or whatever. But
No, I didn't listen to it. There's no context. He
said right, perfect.
He knows more than all of us together about fighting. I love Conor, but what the fuck are we saying?
Look, I think he probably said that more like you were saying with sarcasm. I think he's being more sarcastic than anything. Because look, to be real, there's a pretty long list of like MMA personalities, I guess, that I would for like a better word, that I would sit down and want to have a beer with. And John Kavanaugh's in my probably top 15 to go sit with, because he comes off as like a really fucking cool dude to sit and just like, shoot the shit with about anything, outside of fighting, right? I think he was just fucking around for the most part. I think he's helping sell this whole thing and hype up Conor McGregor. Now here's the thing. If Conor's not looking good in the gym, like we've seen other coaches come out and be like, oh, they're looking great, looking amazing. They're going to come, we're going to start them. They're the best they've ever been. And then they come out in the fight and they totally eat shit. You know what I mean? We've seen that before too. So it could be a smoke screen. Who knows? But it's just, I think Kavanaugh just goes in like, fuck it, we're in this media train anyway. Let's just say whatever the fuck.
Hey, Eddie.
But if he means it, then you're right. Like, you never want to, you can work your way up to being the best fighter in your gym. But once you hit that, if you stay there, you're not going to get any better. You know what I mean? You got to go somewhere where there's someone better than you.
Even the best
real quick.
fighter.
I just want Eddie to pull up the Quentin Clark comment. I think it's Quentin Clark. About Tom Brady. But go ahead, Fred. I just wanted him to pull
go ahead.
Even the best fighter in the gym shouldn't know the most about fighting. The fuck? Like,
you're right. All right, Kesey says, when I read that, I took that as a coach saying my fighter is really smart. Tom Brady knows more about football than Josh McDaniels. There you go. That's a good point.
I don't know who the fuck Josh McDaniels is.
Exactly. So he's an OC. He's an offensive coordinator.
Look. Fred, I get what you're saying.
Okay, that was fucking good, Quentin.
Yeah.
Cute. Okay, fuck me.
But I think that's what I'm saying. Look, if you're a student of something, you can know more than someone that's trying to teach you. That's not saying, like somebody else mentioned, that's not saying that you can't learn something, right? That's not saying that you can't be teachable, that you can't find new information, right? But I think you guys are also right. If the fact is that your coach is admitting that you're smarter than him, there's a discrepancy in what that means.
Yeah,
because does that mean that the coach is no longer telling you how to train, how to do stuff? Because if that's the case, then what the hell is the coach there for? Who's actually building this training camp? Is it you who gets to decide, I don't have to do cardio today because I'm good, because I know better? Oh, I don't have to do takedown defense because I know better. Or is it that your fighter can point out things that hey, I'm noticing that this person does this. Hey, you're right. Let's zoom in on that, and let's figure out how to attack this technique that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there could be a scenario where someone is more observant than the coach and bring it to the coach, and the coach go, you know what? You're right. Let's I think we could do it this way. We can work it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be a community-based idea of how to train a fighter. But I mean, it's all in the details, right? It's all in the details and how this fight ends up going. Because Fred, we could talk about till next week about how to interpret this, what Kavanaugh said. It's all going to show in the cage, right?
Listen.
Like, everything is gonna be present there, whether he does know more or doesn't know more.
Perception is reality. And what the fuck we are perceiving right now is a pile of number one bullshit. I don't give a fuck what he meant. We all collectively look at this and go, that's not great. I don't give a fuck if he comes out and Dust Cowboy. That particular comment don't sit well with me.
MMA Gods makes a good point, Eddie.
But hold up. I scroll back up.
Oh, my bad.
Hold on. But Khabib? Here we
Yeah.
go. Who knows more about fighting? Why did he blame the Khabib loss on Kavanaugh? Yeah. Okay, wait, time out. Right after that shit, was I the only one that read that he? But it was probably bullshit. But someone like started putting out clickbait articles about him moving to like Atlanta. Like,
No,
yeah,
like,
I heard.
was that bullshit?
No, I think he did what like a lot of fighters do. They go out, they seek, maybe something else that they're not finding, and then a lot of them move camps. And apparently, Connor just decided to go back to his old camp.
Yeah. Either way, I love that goddamn comment, Jack.
Look, but you're right, Fred. Look, in this sport, it's inches, right? It's always inches, and if someone believes more in their hype, it could be a very dangerous thing, because we've seen too many fighters who start believing their own hype and don't believe that they need to put in the work, or they know more, and then it all falls apart for them. Look at what was it, the most recent heavyweight champion boxing, right? He thought he had it all under control. Yeah, Andy Ruiz, and then decided not to train, got fat, partied.
That shit pissed me off.
Look at all the other great coaches we know of, right? Love them or hate them, great coaches that we know of. Can you imagine Greg Jackson coming out and being like, yeah, John's so good, he knows more about fighting than all the rest of us combined? He would never. Like, he would tell you that John could kick all their asses at the same time.
Yeah.
But that, like, they be teaching him this shit. Like, they're the fucking brains behind the operation. That's kind of how.
But even then, Fred, think about what Greg Jackson did to John Jones, right? When John Jones went up against, who was it? His first fight back against.
That's my favorite comment of the night.
What was John Jones' first fight back?
OSP.
OSP. Yeah, OSP.
Was it OSP?
It was, because OSP looked really good against him.
Okay. Do you remember what Greg Jackson said to him after the fight?
You suck.
No, he told him, so we're not going to do any more weight training. Like, right away.
Oh yeah, that's when he was doing like heavy ass weightlifting.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, that's more the way a coach, a better coach would take this, right? He wouldn't say that the person is better. He would let him go, okay, you think you know better, go ahead. We'll see in the fight. Oh, after the fight. So now we're gonna listen to what I'm telling you that is better for you. Oh Lord.
It better not.
God, I fucking hope so. Just because I want a good laugh. All right, but
Dude, can you imagine?
It'd be insane.
Fat Connor.
Yeah,
Connor looks fucking jacked out of his head.
Yeah. Now, both of you guys are making really good points, but this is assuming that he's serious about what he said. I mean, that's what I'm saying, right?
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't think he was serious, but that's just me. Let's see. All right.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. Here's a good one. Looks like Connor's bulking up for real and going after Jorge if he wins. Is that a fight for Conor McGregor if he gets past Cowboy and doesn't get a title shot?
Fred, let me ask you this real quick before you give your opinion. Is it Connor's matchup to make, or is it more Masvidal's matchup to make? Like, who's the one more in control of that situation?
It depends how this fight goes with Cowboy. If Conor comes out and starches Cowboy in the first round, y'all better get ready. It's Conor's world. Sorry, it just is. If he comes out and he snoozes Cowboy, boom, round the button, fucking Cowboy does one of these numbers where his fucking toes are all stiff. If he pulls one of them joints, all bets are off. Conor's gonna get on his mic, and whatever he kind of wants is what's going to happen. If he has a lackluster win, I think his bargaining chips go down a little bit. At the end of the day, if he gets a fucking W, I still think he probably calls the shot. Look, if he wants Jorge gonna want him. The only one
he already said that.
Right, exactly. The only one that's playing hard to get with Conor is Khabib.
Yep.
Everybody else is kind of like, yeah, I'll take that one. I'm cool. I'll let you know, Jack.
Cowboy's ready.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Gaethje wants it. Fucking Jorge wants it. Usman's talking a little shit, but I think he's playing game. I think if it really came down to it, they were like, yo, you want the Conor fight? Usman would be like, fuck yeah. Shit. Yeah. Easy money, baby. Like,
I'm gonna hug him to death.
For sure.
Anyway, let me ask you this, Fred. Okay, in your scenario, any W gets Conor that prestige, right? what if it's a split decision where a lot of people believe that Cowboy won? Do you think he still commands that type of,
Good question. I don't know. You're right. If it's one of those sort of wins, and we're all like, if everybody feels that Cowboy got robbed, like Conor got rocked in round 3 or some sort of shit, and we're all kind of like, yeah, you might be right. Maybe, but here's the deal, right? If he gets the W, Jorge will still probably want the Conor fight too. Like, no matter what, if he can swing a W out of it, whatever Conor wants, the other participant will probably be willing to. You know what I'm saying? And let me go further on this too. I think that no matter how it goes, if Conor wins and they did do the Jorge fight, I think a massive narrative going into it would be that Conor's going to get fucked up. And generally speaking, it would be hard to argue that point. But I will tell you this. What Jorge was doing.
Pass that check.
Well, no, just keep it in a beam. What Jorge was doing to Nate Diaz, Conor was doing to Nate Diaz.
Right.
I mean, Conor didn't have the gas tank of Jorge.
Or the power at that point.
Right. But right, because he didn't have the gas. But that first round, exactly how Jorge was piecing up Nate Conor. So round 1 of Jorge Conor will be very interesting. You know, I love Jorge, but we all have to remember he has been outstruck before. He did lose a fight to Wonder Boy. Jorge got tough. Listen, a lot of people forget Darren Till dropped Jorge in the first 10 seconds of their fight.
Yep.
They went on to fight for 3 or 4 more rounds, and eventually Jorge did what he did because he's a fucking real life dog. And that's what makes him so dangerous. He's actually still got fucking gas and power in rounds 3 and 4. But the first round, if they did Conor Jorge, would be a lot more interesting than people think.
Agreed. No, I totally agree on that. And with the exact points that you made, the first round against Nate on both fights, and then the honestly, I think one of the rounds against Khabib that he won, he was landing pretty good on Khabib.
Yeah, I still say again, I know I can't take Conor's pick.
Yeah, but you're not wrong.
I say if Conor, I'm not saying he would win, but I'm saying if Conor came out in the first round like he did in the third round against Khabib, I think that fight looks differently. I don't know that he wins, but if he comes out with that sort of urgency and does not take him lightly from the first second, I think it would be interesting. It would be interesting.
I think Jorge wants Conor. Khabib doesn't want Conor. I mean, look, Jorge wants Conor because Jorge's a bad dude, but Khabib was probably also, like you know, more on the I don't know, I don't want to say serious side, but more on like the he didn't deserve it. Now I think he really doesn't like Conor. That's what it is. He really despises it. He don't want to give him anything.
And I think Masvidal knows very well that the money fight is not against Usman, right? It's against Conor. And that's where he's going to get paid. Sure. And I think that's what makes him smart in this sense. Clearly, ELC wants Conor to get murdered. But
I vote. ELC says I vote for Francis versus Conor, but I clearly have issues. It's so great. Speaking of Conor and buttload, there you go. Keep it coming up.
Okay, so all right. Well, while we're here for a moment, since we don't got a whole lot to discuss, but this particular topic, what would we like to see happen then with a Conor win? Where would we like to see Conor go? Let's say, for the sake of argument, which I think is the narrative and the general consensus going into this fight, let's say Conor gets a first or second round knockout. He does the damn thing. He sleeps Cowboy, gets on the mic. I'm fucking back. It doesn't matter. Lock him up. Blase, blase. Cuts the big promo. What do we want? Do we want to see him get that rematch or just fight for the belt? Because I'm going to tell you something, Jack. I'm not sold on Khabib beating Tony. We all know I've been a big, proponent of Tony's for a long time, but you got to give the cute, crazy Mexican cocksucker his due. I don't know if that's a fucking guaranteed W. Hypothetically, do we want to see the rematch with Khabib, a fight with Gaethje, fucking Nate Diaz rematch, Jorge at 170, Usman? What would you like if you was the matchmaker? Conor gets a big W. What do you do with him?
All right, let me go first real quick because we're forgetting. Oh, this makes a good point. Usman versus Masvidal supposedly happening in July. Now they announced that it was in the works like a minute ago, or like I want to say like a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe. And everyone was thinking like, why would you wait like 7 months for that fight? Like, and everyone's thinking the same thing we are. If Conor comes out and starts his Cowboy, he's gonna want to get that Jorge Masvidal fight. You know what I mean? With that being said, with a Conor win, like it comes down to two things. It's, do we want him to go after a title, whatever, or do we want to see a badass fucking fight? I 99% of the time lean for a badass fucking fight. Conor versus Jorge will be fucking badass for all the reasons we already stated. You know what I mean? For all the reasons we stated. And so I think if he starts his Cowboy, he gets on the mic and he goes, I want that bad motherfucker belt. Bring me my bad motherfucker belt, Jorge. Let's go, motherfucker. You ain't no bitch. Let's go. Jorge's going to be in the crowd like he was against Nate. Big old fucking smile on his face, ready to fucking go. That's what I want.
Okay, fair enough. I'll be a quick and simple, man. Listen, I love that. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be hating that for sure. If Conor gets the big win, I know people hate it. And quite frankly, listen, Gaethje, I'm sorry. I know it ain't fair. Life ain't fair. I just don't know what else to say. But if he got the big W, I want to see the rematch with Khabib. I don't think he deserves it either coming off that win, but I do think that he can beat Khabib. I do think that Khabib is beatable. I think that if Conor comes in and he fucking takes that fight seriously, he tries to play the distance game well and keep him off of him and strike with, conviction and fucking, a sense of urgency in his striking with him from the moment go, I think he could possibly win that fight. And that's the one for Conor. If Conor beating Cowboy, okay, boom, 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 he's back, whatever. If he gets the rematch with Khabib, say Khabib does beat Tony, Khabib's going to be at an all-time high. If he gets that rematch and he starts as Khabib, they got to do the trilogy. But if he does that, boy, is he back in black. Because, again, the Floyd fight, y'all can all suck my dick with that. The real loss that Conor has, the one that counts, real talk, is Khabib. That's his real nemesis. If he could get that fight back and knock Khabib out, that is real, fucking rehabilitation for Conor in the fight game.
Jesse,
I mean, ELC has it right. I mean, you are assuming, Fred, that Tony Ferguson doesn't have something for Khabib.
I did not. I stated up front that I thought Tony could win, but hypothetically, I think we all assume that Khabib will still win that fight. He's the favored fighter to win.
Look, I'm going to propose the best scenario for me.
Okay.
I say exactly, Conor comes out of this fight, looks good, wins, hopefully impressively, right? So we can have that okay, he's back. His next fight, Justin Gaethje. And it's one hell of a barn burner, okay? Exciting. Conor knocks out Justin Gaethje. Let's say third round. Makes it exciting. Awesome. And then for me, what would be just the icing on top, Tony Ferguson beats Khabib, and we get Conor versus Tony Ferguson for the title.
You have McNuggets, you piece of shit.
Listen, for the record, and you bitch ass motherfuckers have been doing this show with me for fucking 132 years. Y'all know I said that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've been said that, and then I say that Conor beats Tony because I think his striking is cleaner. I've been said that, but I'm just saying for the sake of argument,
right?
I think that Khabib winning is a natural thing. But I agree with you, though. I do think that Tony's a live dog in that fight. Styles make fights, and he's stylistically a nightmare for Khabib to keep it a buck.
You're right, and I think what I like about that progression, right? Cowboy, Gaethje, and then the title. I think it brings back that whole run that he had at 45 before he got to Aldo, right? Like everybody he beat seemed like it was a different test, right? Like even though a little bit more a little bit weird, maybe, like a last minute Chad Mendes, whatever. I mean, he still had to get in there with with those fighters and beat them. Just because somebody didn't train enough, I mean, doesn't mean that they're chumps, right? Look at Nate Diaz, right? Literally off of drinking margaritas a few days before the fight, he showed up and beat Conor. It doesn't mean anything whether they're trained for the fight or not. But what I think it does, it builds that escalation again. To me, it's all about the story, right? If you can build a nice story behind a fighter, and when he gets to that championship title, I mean, it makes it all the better. And to me, beating Justin Gaethje and then going up against Tony Ferguson, I just can't imagine a better fight for him.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
I would love to see that Tony Ferguson fight personally.
To be fair, I love all of our scenarios. I think if Conor gets a win here,
if Conor wins, if Conor wins, it's gonna be fun no matter what. It's gonna be fun.
Yo. So then, can we all low key just keep it a fucking bean and admit that we want Conor to win? Shut the fuck up with the like. Everybody, I see everybody. I can't wait. Y'all do not want Cowboy to win. Keep it a buck. If Cowboy wins, the fun comes to an end.
I like Cowboy. I love to see a head kick knockout.
Oh, stop it!
No. Don't get me wrong. I have no dog in this fight. I have zero dog in this fight. Okay.
Okay.
But I would love to see Cowboy knock him out. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna get mad.
Let's go there then. Let's get fair enough. Let's give Cowboy his due credit. We did it with Conor. If Cowboy wins, what do we want to see? What happens? What the fuck do you do with Cowboy? Say Cowboy starts as Conor. Now, see, this is the problem with me.
Why does that sound difficult? It sounds like a difficult question.
It does. It's like, really? I don't give a fuck, really.
Yeah.
If he does start Conor at 170, he ain't fighting Jorge. That's not sexy. He's not fighting Usman.
Right.
No, but I think that gives them kind of like that chip, right? Like that golden chip, that golden ticket. I think if Cowboy can pull off a win against Conor, he can cash that ticket and fight Justin Gaethje at 155 for a number one contender.
He just got knocked out by Gaethje. That's the problem. He's lost to Gaethje and Tony Ferguson. If he gets the golden ticket, it better be the Habib and no pass go the whole most of it. Because I in my scenario, Khabib ain't winning that fight against Ferguson. Try to keep going with it. Listen, Tony and Gaethje have threw Cowboy a beating within the last fucking calendar year. That's no blames for Cowboy, man. And he done tried 170. He ain't like I tell you, I don't know. Look, I tell you what, fuck it. If he wins, I don't know what to do. If Tony Ferguson wins, I don't know. I don't want to see the rematch with Tony Ferguson or Gaethje. Like, for all of me, it felt like those fights were pretty decisive. I mean, I know Donald's eye was swelled up and won with Tony Ferguson, but let's all keep it a bean. He didn't want to come out that next round with El Kukui, Jack. That fight was done, son. If Habib wins, fuck it. And Cowboy wins, I say throw him in there with Habib. Fuck it. Willy Wonka's golden ticket, Jack. This is what you get. You finally get another title shot into your career. Habib's probably going to beat the dog piss out of you, but I got nothing else for him. I mean, I just don't know where we take him from there. What's his consolation prize?
But that's my point. I think the clout that he could get from beating Conor at this point would give him the opportunity to either cash a check against the champion or at least put him in a position to be a number one contender. Fred, you're not very popular. You're not the popular vote in the comments because a lot of people are saying that they want to see Cowboy knock out Conor. So look. If you want to make the pick, I'm going to say that Cowboy wins the fight just because there's so many question marks next to Conor McGregor's name. I agree with you. Yeah. It's a much funner scenario to imagine Conor winning and riding off into the sunset into a title, fight against. Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, man.
But you know what I mean? Beat Conor, golden ticket, whatever fight you want, whenever you want it, whatever weight.
Yeah. Look, I think your Cowboy wins. Obviously, that guy deserves is doing everything. It's just, to me, it's a hard question.
Well, no. Yeah. Keep that same energy, comment section, you mouthy little twats. Who do y'all want to see your mighty little Cowboy win if he wins? Where are we going with Cowboy if he gets the big fucking knockout that you all seek?
I don't know.
What would y'all do with him at that point?
I don't feel like he gets a title shot off of beating Conor. That makes sense?
Yes. But I don't think he can do that.
He can't get a number one contender fight off of two cats that just got done starching him.
Right. I just think.
Do we make him retire?
Huh?
We just make him retire? Like, yo, you got a big win. Go fucking farm some cash.
I think he does it on his own. But if not, if he beats Conor, I don't think he retires like that. I think he has one more, maybe, and after that. But I don't know. But I don't know why I want to see. This is stupid because Nate's coming off a loss. But if you give me Cowboy Nate too, as a last fight on Cowboy to try to get that back, even though I think Nate would still win that fight again, but Cowboy Nate too, you could sell that, especially coming off a big win to Conor.
All right. How about this? Then? I just look again.
I want to go for fucking fights I want to see, like big, like fun ass fucking fights, and that's a fun ass fucking fight. I'm kind of done with this whole. I want to see someone who get a title shot, or I want to see fucking the 145 pound champion take on the 150. I'm done with all that shit. We've done it, and honestly, it's all falling short. Almost every single big ass fight that they try to sell us has fallen fucking short. I want to see some badass shit. Give me Nate Diaz, Cowboy 2. And then Cowboy rides up in the sunset. To me, win or lose to me, it'd be fucking amazing to me.
Eddie, has anybody in the comments mentioned these two people? These two people, I would say, since you guys are correct, he did lose to Justin Gaethje. Mm-hmm. He has a loss against Tony Ferguson. But beating Conor McGregor, I think he could put him in fun fights and actual number one contender spots, either against Dan Hooker or Dustin Poirier. I think both of those guys. Those two fights could give him that push to be a number one contender, barring the fact that Justin Gaethje doesn't get the shot first and win or something, crazy happens there.
I like the Poirier fight.
Yeah, the Poirier fight's dope.
Poirier fight, that's not bad.
Keep in mind this will require Cowboy to go back down to 155, which he can still do. It just sucks. But all right, yeah, that'd be dope. I like that one.
All right, what are they saying in the comments?
No one's really giving a real. Okay, maybe a couple people. Hold on a second. Let me see.
What do you got?
Masvidal's the only big fight for Cowboy.
Ugh, I don't know about that.
I don't care. All I want is for him to beat Conor.
That's fucking cute, you cocksucker. I love that.
Cowboy gets Edmund Shabazz a present from Dana.
Here we go with the fucking jokes. Come on, keep them coming. Here we go.
Cowboy should try to get that BMF up because he owns the ranch. Fair enough. I don't doubt that.
Are we really? Is that the energy?
Badass shit equals Francis. There you go. All right, here's a good question though. What's next for Cerrone if he loses to Conor? We haven't talked about it.
The BMF ranch and the cattle. Like look, Cowboy can keep fighting for as long as he wants to, right? I mean, I think we all kind of expect him to lose this fight. So if he does lose this fight, for all of me, I don't think he loses much of anything. He can fucking fight on the next card. I don't think it would matter too much. Whatever Cowboy wants for the most part. I mean, he ain't chasing no belts or nothing. Like, that's the thing, right? So we're just talking about just now, what happens if Cowboy wins? You know what's funny is, what happens if he loses? Probably the same thing. Probably. Like the same sort of fights. Like, it ain't.
Shit, then I could definitely push for that Diaz.
Cowboy 2 fight. I'm saying, like, if Cowboy wins or loses this fight, I don't think it matters a whole lot, really. Like, if he does beat Conor, he ain't getting Khabib. Like, I was just saying that, like, to because, you know what I'm saying, throw him a bone on the way out the door on some fly shit. But, like, more than likely, he sure as shit ain't getting Usman. Maybe the bad motherfucker belt, maybe. But for some reason, that doesn't really wake my snake up.
Well, I think Fred, you're right. I think it's what Cowboy wants to do. I think he's built enough, good rapport with the UFC, and I think they're willing to let him fight it out, let him see what he does, even if he loses. But I think you're right. I think if he loses, I think Cowboy has talked about it. To him, it's more about legacy at this point, right? It's not about the championship. Like, he wants to be the champion, but if he can build a legacy and kind of secure a future for his family, I don't think he much cares. Especially with this fight, I could see him, saying, "Well, I'm good. I have enough money to, continue having my fun adventures and take care of my son and my family, and I'm good." I mean, honestly, I don't really see him losing too much, but I don't see him wanting to do this, too much more.
I don't know. I think he's got his family, he's got the ranch, got all that shit, but we'll see. Okay, hey, How about Kevin Lee versus Cerrone versus McGregor loser? Lee's 2-3 in his last 5. He's actually looked pretty solid since he's moved to Firas Zahabi.
Fantastic. I mean, if McGregor loses, I don't know what he's going to do, but if he does lose and he wants to continue fighting, that's a fantastic fight. I love that. And then, yeah, for sure, if Cerrone loses, Kevin Lee needs a big name like that. Like, yeah, I'm down with that for sure.
And Kevin Lee,
MMA God's already doing something that I think. You know what's funny though? I kind of feel like we've always thought about Cowboy as a gatekeeper, right? But
more in the recent years, yeah.
Yeah, like it always seemed like, oh, so and so beat Cowboy. Okay, he should get a title shot, right?
Cowboy was one of those types. Real quick, just to put more context into this, Cowboy has, for the most part of his career, has been one of those guys that just wants to get paid and fight. He was one of the first guys to actually go with that. Oh, I just want to fight and get paid. That's it. I don't give a fuck about no title shots. Title shots didn't come in until he had a kid, and he's like, "Nah, I want to be champion." Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
No, that's just it. I think.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's just funny that now we're starting to think about that again. Right. Or maybe he's just a gatekeeper, right?
I mean, it depends to see.
Listen, it's what happens when you lose 2 fucking fights in a row. What the fuck?
Yeah. MMA God says Cowboys proved he can still hang with the up and coming fighters. He's just not elite. Tough spot being a gatekeeper, and he's older. He's getting up there. Let's see. What up, Nick? Oh shit, Nick X Micro, alive and kicking. Everyone's sleeping on Cowboy. Don't count him out. Sorry, just got here. Not sure what the full topic was. Yeah, no, but I agree. Everyone's kind of sleeping on him and shit, but that's what makes this fight kind of intriguing too, though.
For sure. This is a very tough fight for Conor, and honestly, all the pressure is on Conor. Again, if Cowboy gets sparked out, so what? He's got sparked out in his last 2 fights, and you know what it got him? The Conor McGregor fight.
Right.
The motherfucker's impenetrable. So what? If he does lose, so what? If he head kicks Conor and starches Conor out, it's horrible for Conor's brand. Like, Conor has all the pressure coming into this fight. That's why, if I was Conor, I would have took the Gaethje fight.
Yep.
Fuck it. I got all the pressure anyways. I might as well fight the dude that knocked you out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now you better hope you don't lose the Cowboy. Matter of fact, you better hope you win convincingly.
No,
hey, Eddie, isn't Nick's team out of the playoffs at this point?
Dude, don't hate on that. All right, someone fucking took out his quarterback with the dirtiest hit I've seen him for forever. No, don't do that. Don't do that to Nick.
I just had to bring it up.
Anyway. I know. No.
Look, my team got slaughtered and butchered out of the playoffs.
And look, me and you didn't make the playoffs this year. Okay, so it's all good.
Although, you know what? I have to shout out my brother-in-law. We were watching that Patriots game. He's a Titans fan.
Yeah,
that was the most exciting thing I've ever watched. And just to watch Tom Brady, just angry face the whole time, I just want to kick everybody in their face for making me lose this game. It was amazing. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Nick says, can Conor come out of all this? Can Conor come out after all this pressure? Everything is weighing on him. If he gets beat, what's next for her? And what's next for Jorge for money? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. But yeah, that's what I mean. Win or lose, you can still make that fight. But more, if he wins, he can dictate getting that fight.
But you know what? Like on that topic, I don't think this is more pressure than Conor's used to, right? I think Conor knew going into that Aldo fight that if he got starched or if he underperformed in that fight, it was going to cost him. If he went into that Eddie Alvarez fight, it was going to cost him. I don't think that pressure is on Conor. I think it's more of how well he looks in the fight as how much he trained, how prepared he is for this fight. I think the pressure is what he's used to almost. I don't know, Fred, you're the Conor lover, you're the Conor nut hugger, so you tell me. But to me, it feels like Conor thrives in the pressure that people are trying to put him under.
I mean, he does thrive under pressure, but no, I think this is definitely the most pressure he's been under. I mean, yeah, listen, every fight is your biggest fight, right? Obviously, until you become a Cowboy sort of status. But coming off of the loss, the long layoff, all the talk, this loss would be really devastating to Conor, especially depending on how he loses it. If he loses it by knockout or something, this could be the nail in the coffin, so to speak. I mean, he would have to really bounce back with a bunch of wins to reclaim some sort of his former legacy if he loses this one. Going into the Jose Aldo fight, he hadn't been beaten. You know what I'm saying? He still had that sort of massive wave of momentum. He's lost a lot of that. he's trying to build it back if he loses this one. You know what I mean? Like he's building his way back up the tower now. He loses now and fuck it. Forget about it. Let me tell you something. If he loses now, guess who's jumping off ship? That's right.
No
I'm
way.
fucking done with Connor. He comes out and he gets snuffed out with fucking my cowboy. I'll be fucking hating on him the next episode. We ain't the keyboard warriors for nothing, goddammit. I'll turn on you quick. He better win.
Oh my god.
I represent the part of his team that is done with the bullshit. If he comes out and gets snuffed, fuck him.
All right, real quick. This is I think is a good point. Cabo could have been amazing if his dumbass didn't fight every week, not watch film and drink beer and fight camp. He fucked himself in his early years for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact. That, like I said, that was the point we're talking about earlier about who he gonna fight. He done fought everybody.
Right.
Wins, got some losses. He was fighting fucking 6 times a month for like 3 years straight. Who we gonna have him fight now? He done fought everybody. Like literally, he coming off of 2 L's to the 2 fucking top contenders at lightweight, and he don't want a whole lot of smoke at 70.
Right.
Fuck, I don't know what the fuck you do with him with a win or a loss in this situation. Like we all just low key hoping Connor win, except for all the Connor haters in the goddamn comment section. That's like, I don't care who Cowboy fights, just let Connor lose, please.
Shit.
Well, I guess I'm among those haters, huh? Because I want Cowboy to win, and I expect Cowboy to win.
And you ain't got nothing to do with him afterwards.
Yeah.
You just like.
All right. Before we move on, real quick, he's taking this as a tune-up fight, not cutting weight. And if he wins, what he gets a rematch, title shot, a smaller weight class. I want Cowboy to win to throw a wrench in that plan. There you go.
I hate that that's everybody's reason for Cowboy winning, though. Everybody just wants Cowboy to win just for the universe to get fucked in its ass.
It's for the same reason that everybody's happy about this. Brady throwing a pick six to end, and it's not ending, he's coming back. But to end his career was glorious. It's the same thing. Like I never hated the Patriots. I just couldn't stay in Patriots fans. But it's kind of the similar thing, right? Like you kind of want to see him get fucking starched because you're kind of tired of hearing about his bullshit.
Look. Any successful person that's at the top for too long, everybody starts hating the person, right? Everybody starts looking at how they're going to lose. They have to lose this one, and they win. Oh no! They have to lose this next one, and they win.
That's what makes Floyd so fucking good, though, too. Because he was like, "Fuck you still gonna come watch me?"
I fucking hate y'all. He ain't on top. He's coming off of 2 losses, and y'all still hating on him. Like, what the fuck? Leave me alone.
Think about that.
Oh my god! You know what?
Yeah. You know when motherfucker.
Okay.
I'm Brady. Will you get the fuck out of here,
Eddie. You know what? Fred reminds me of. You remember that kid that was crying to leave Britney Spears alone? That's what Fred is doing right now. Fred is like, leave Connor alone. He's not even the best guy in the division. Leave him alone.
Hey. Number 6.
Hey.
Yeah, that ain't good enough, Jack. We want to see you lose again and again and again. God damn.
Nick trying to change the subject. Fuck John Jones.
Hey, listen, you've been beating that drum for a long time, Nick, and yet John keeps fucking you. Y'all gonna learn. You don't fuck John. John fucks you. Unless you're a heavyweight.
He goes, is that the next pay-per-view? The next pay-per-view is 246 next weekend, dude. That's the McGregor the McGregor Cowboy fight. All right. RDA to Cerrone dirty twice. Yeah, I don't want to see that fight ever again. All right.
At 55. Cowboys fought everybody at 55 3 times.
Yeah, he's a 70er at this point. All right. Let's move on. Oh, here we go. I picked against Cowboy 2 times against Nate and Justin. There you go. All right. Did you guys hear the whole is it Michael J. White and Mike Perry shit?
Oh yes.
Okay. That blew up on Twitter to the point where people started people like MMA Twitter started like feeding on itself. Like it was like I was watching. I was serious. I didn't say much about it. I was kind of like, really? Like this is stupid, right? But everyone was going at it. People calling each other racist and shit. It got fucking wild, right? But at the heart of it, Mike Perry using the N-word. Come on now, you can't fucking do that. Like, right?
Yeah,
like, anyone have a problem? I think it's fucking stupid. Like, no, I think it's stupid that he does it. I don't like the reaction. I understand, right?
But it's like Mike's doing it for the record.
Huh? That's what I was gonna say.
He's been doing it. Like he's been using that word on Twitter. Like he did 23andMe shit. Found out he was like 2% black and just started going crazy. I do think he like kind of started off as like a trolly joke sort of thing, but
but he's trying to like legit get Michael J. White to fight him, and it's kind of like Mike, stop. Sorry, Jesse, what were you saying?
No. I agree with Fred. And that's the thing. I don't know why MMA Twitter started picking this up now when he was doing that a while ago. And he's been kind of on this train of like using that word and just being that guy, like that weird guy that thinks that he can do that just because he, like Fred said, he took a test and he's like, I don't know, 1 or 2%, African American or whatever.
People are legit defending him with that.
Same, far as it goes,
but the thing is, look, ask anybody of color, and Fred has a few friends that he communicates with a lot. Gary, that word is just something that you shouldn't be throwing around just because if you can, whatever. It's just not a word that's like that should be in anybody's lingo, right? So, I mean, for him, he should definitely not be using that word, especially because he's white, basically. And number two, stop picking a fight with an actor. Pick a fight with a fighter in the UFC. Go ahead, Fred.
Here's the thing, right? This is the reason why MMA Twitter was tripping. He had been using that word. The reason they was tripping today is because he used it directly against a black man.
Right.
So he was saying it directly toward Michael J. White. Now, let me add just a little bit of my personal opinion to this, because I did grow up in a black city. I went to predominantly black schools. I grew up with a bunch of black kids. In certain circles, some white boys do say this word. And also, let me also throw it out there that there is a massive difference with using the hard R and Nigga. They're two completely different words. Now, let me also go on the record with saying that just because you grow up in a certain community with certain black guys where you might use that word with them, you do not go around saying it around all other black folks, because not everybody is going to be okay with you using that word, i.e. fucking Twitter.
Right.
So no blames on that for sure. He is from Florida. If anybody has seen Mike Perry from the Jump Street, he has a very urban appeal. I do not doubt that he probably grew up around black guys and probably uses this word in the right context with them, and they probably have absolutely zero problem with him using that word.
Right.
But you saying it on Twitter makes you look like a fucking jerk. And then saying it at a black man, a lot of people are going to be like, how fucking dare you? Even though if he was another black man, him using the M word in that context is okay. For the record, if Gucci Man made that same tweet, it's not racist. The hard R was not thrown out. The fact that he's a white guy and he did it is no bueno. But I'm like, this is like this whole, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fucking white guy. So if a black woman or a black man was to come on here and be like, listen, I don't want you calling me an Nigga, a hard R, or anything. I have to respect that. I do understand that. But you got to understand that there's a massive difference in those words. Anybody who listens to rap, anybody who's grew up in any slightly urban community, Mexicans in California say Nigga like it ain't no big deal. And for some reason, it's all fucking good. They can fucking rap about it. It's no biggie. Fat Joe,
sure do.
Most of them. I'm real talk. But it is okay because it is that word. Tupac had a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are differences. Again, I ain't making no excuses for Mike Perry using that word. Certainly not on fucking Twitter. That shit was not okay. And he got what's coming for him. You know what I'm saying? But just to add a little bit of clarity to the situation, in case people just don't understand the context of how that word is actually used.
Right.
I do not think Mike Perry, for all y'all out there that think Mike Perry's a racist and he goes around calling people the hard R down in Florida where it's predominantly black, looking like he does, I don't think that's the vibes. Just for the record. He's stupid and he shouldn't have done that on Twitter. And I think that's one of those things. I think he probably has a lot of black friends. He can fucking throw them things and he's probably like, what the fuck I want. What the fuck? Who gonna check me in real life though?
Right.
So like, but all that being said, bad idea for him to do it. He needs a PR guy. No matter how you spin it, you shouldn't have said it. And it is a lot of people are going to take it offensively. And us as white folks can't be like, nah, don't take it like that.
Right. No. The funny thing, man, I grew up and like it feels like the only black people in Arizona. That's why I ended up growing up at, because I didn't go to, we didn't move here from LA, to like the really nice part of town and shit. We went straight to the school. Schools that I went to were predominantly black and everything. And I have friends that would give me that pass. And I mean, I'm Mexican, but like I'm not white, but I still wouldn't use it for some reason. Like I never felt comfortable doing it, right? So it was just always, that whole thing's always been weird to me. But the way I see it is, I'm not black. I ain't about to tell someone that they can and can't use it. That's between you, and if you get your ass whipped by the black dude that hears you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you something. I use that word.
Fair enough.
I grew up using it, and I still use it.
Yeah.
But I know how to use it. I know who to use it around. I use it around
when
my that I grew up with. We all refer to each other as that word. That's how it is. And all y'all can suck my dick. But I don't use it in public. I don't use it around folks I don't know, because I do understand it's
my pig got to use his head. You
I'm sure he has cats he grew up with where that word's fine. They've been using it since they've been kids with each other, but you got to be cool in public scenarios with that shit.
You know what?
He's been saying it his whole life. Funny, it took a week without MMA fans return. Is my favorite one right now. MMA Twitter just getting wrestled with no fight.
Hey, yo, that's the one. Real
true.
Real talk. That's it. MMA Twitter is just, we're restless, dog. We need some fight. As soon as the fights happen, we'll be off Mike Perry. We won't give a shit till he fights again.
Right.
That's so funny, Fred, that you say that though, because it's true. I mean, I grew up here in California, and I mean that word in that sense, in that aspect that you're saying, not the hard R,
sure,
but the other one, that is just like, that's thrown around almost as much as white dudes saying dude.
Yeah, dude,
I have a very Californian vocabulary, so I throw a lot of dudes, and it's like that's just, and a lot of likes if you hear it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a very Californian mindset. I agree with you, Fred. When I hear somebody say something like that, maybe I kind of look at them like, dude, are you sure you should be saying that word? But to me, it's not like foreign, it's not like, whoa, like a white guy saying that word. Like it does nothing to me, because I hear it all the time from so many different people out here. But like you said, Fred, when you're a public person and you put it on a platform that a lot of different people can read and see without knowing you, that's a big problem. Because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what word you use. If you don't know the context of where you're putting it on or where you're putting it out on, that could get you in a lot of trouble. Sure. Just because of the fact that maybe people don't know who you are, maybe people don't know your background, maybe people just want to be mad at something just because you use a specific word, like fag, gay, homo, any of those
shout out Aaron Robbins.
Yeah, like any of those words that just create like this hard like response from people. Like if people don't know you and you put it out there on like a platform that a lot of people can come at you, that's on you though. Like you said, Fred, because you have to know where you're doing it, how you're doing it, and like what the response is going to be back to you. And if you're not ready for that, then get off of Twitter.
And here's the thing too, man. Again, I don't give a shit who you grew up with. Even for somebody like me, nobody gives a fuck who I grew up with. If a black man or woman out there is offended by me using that word, I can't fucking tell them not to be. It just doesn't work like that. If they're offended by me using it, I need to not be a cunt and at least not use it around them. If you know what I'm saying, if they're like, yo, don't say that, I can't be like, yo, get over it. My homeboy that I grew up with is cool with it. Like, that's not fair. If they're not cool with it, they reign supreme on that shit. For all of me. That's in my context of the word. I would never use the word publicly. I would never use it on this show. You know what I'm saying? Although, to be fair, I be low-key having to catch it sometimes. I almost slip sometimes. I just,
you slipped a couple times.
The
funny thing is I catch it when you say it. I don't say shit, but I catch it and I'm like, fair enough. We both grew up the same way. I just don't say it. Like I could have, and I just never did. What?
ELC is trying to make a point, and
okay.
I think the point is not valid, because she's saying, what if someone were to use the word spit? I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming
here it is.
Probably the word.
Okay. Yeah.
Not the same thing. Honestly, I don't know about you, Eddie, but if someone throws like a wetback or like, any kind of beaner or any kind of those like insulting Mexican things, it just doesn't feel the same as that hard R N word. Like
because it's the history.
Well, right.
to be fair, there's not an equivalent to that word in the Mexican. Like Mexicans don't all go around calling each other
nothing like that. Yeah.
Keyword. And then like with their white homies, the same thing. They don't call their dogs little spics. Like
the difference.
The NIGGA is like
right.
a verb, Jack. It's like a noun. Like it could be the dog. It could be the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It literally is used in that like Jesus was saying on the West Coast and shit. Like it's all over for that record. And
all over, but in the West is huge because of rap
communities. It's like, yeah, exactly. And then rap and like it. So it doesn't feel like there's, and maybe there probably is a Spanish word that's like low key something that Mexicans call other Mexicans. That's like
way
racist term, but like we just call each other that sort of shit. You know what I'm saying? But like not like NIGGA. That's just something.
I think the thing about the N word, and again, welcome to Social Issues with Keyboard Warriors, new podcast. But we might as well, right? But I think it's because of the history of the word and what it was used for. It wasn't like brought up to be like, no, like they didn't come up with, back in the slavery times or back in super racist times or whatever you want to call it. I know I don't have the right words, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like they use that word as derogatory. The whole point of that word was to be derogatory towards an entire group of people that was being taken advantage of at the time, right? And especially after once, Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation, all that stuff. Once that came out, that was just to be hurtful and shit like that. Then it got turned by hip hop and the black community as something more positive, like the word dude, but it was exclusive to them, right? But it's hard to keep them like hip hop within your own little community because hip hop, everyone likes hip hop for the most part, right? All kinds of races, all kinds of ethnicities and backgrounds and everything. So you pick that up. It's said a lot in a lot of rap. I mean, I'm sure if I go through my phone, I might find one song, like hip hop song that doesn't have it. Right? I mean, maybe,
right?
But it's just part of the culture at this point. But again, it's one of those, like, for example, what I think this is Unbroken says, there is a difference between racist and stupid.
Sure.
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 And I think Mike Perry's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's literally it. Mike Perry's a fucking idiot.
He's not getting a pass, and he is fucking stupid, but I don't think he's racist.
Yeah, I don't think he's racist.
Idiot. Like he definitely shouldn't have said that on Twitter.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Even though he's been using that word, he definitely shouldn't have said that word in correlation with a black guy. Like you already low key be having people hating on you, and like real talk. MMA Twitter or the public in general had let him say that word, and we forgot about it. Like he said that dumb shit, and his mentions blew up. But we kind of forgot about it. But then he said it again in correlation to a black man, and people were just like, "All right, motherfucker." Like,
right, and look, here's, bro. Right, here's a lot of like different different like points of it. Hold on.
And you know what?
Right here, like Cairo says, I don't use the word, so I'm coming from. If I don't, then you can't. I've been aware of him, Cowboy Nate Pettis, and people are saying it. I mean, Nate was on a clip the other day saying it. And again, it's that. Just like Fred was saying, that where you from, your background, how you grew up, it's in there. It's part of your culture. You just got to be smart about it.
It's very hard.
Nick and Nate Diaz use that word
all the time.
I guarantee you, at some point, at least in their life, they have used that word. And then again, not just like Carlos was a black man. So again, if he was like, "Yo, I don't say it. I'm not comfortable. I would never say it around you." You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally get that and respect your fucking opinion on it. But on the same token, there's a difference between growing up around black folks or trying to be down or speaking the way that you were being spoken to and then just being a racist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And Fred, you have the point correct. It's like when, I don't know about Eddie, but I know that like English wasn't really my first language, kind of like my mom taught me Spanish first, so I learned all my English from school. And in school, it's very prevalent here to have like, dude, N-word, lots of other things that just aren't, very, very like PC, and that's just how I grew up. And so there's a lot of stuff in my language, in the way I speak, that identifies me pretty easily. Most people, when they hear me talk, they're like, "You're from California." I'm like, "Yeah, I use a lot of like, dude." But again, like you said, Fred, it all comes down to being intelligent and knowing where you're using it. You're not gonna. I think there was a video a while ago of some girl at a Kendrick Lamar concert where he was having her sing the song, and when it came up to that word, she screamed it, and he was like, "Yo, you shouldn't do that." you know, because she was white.
Right.
You know, like you should know where to censor yourself, how to censor yourself. You can't just go willy-nilly using a word. And I understand what you're thinking, Fred. It's like, yeah, but you know, you're in the moment, whatever. But I also think, like you said, you have to be smart about like how are you using it, where you're using any kind of language. You know, it's not like you're just gonna, you know, freely start throwing around, you know, F-bombs and all this stuff around kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be an intelligent person and, you know, use discretion when you need to.
Listen. We got to wrap it up. We a $120 in. We're getting on some serious racial, political shit.
Yeah.
I'm tell you something right now. Kendrick was a motherfucker for doing that. Like,
that was kind of fucked up.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Jack, we at your concert. You wrote the lyrics. I love the shit. Don't be mad at me for singing your motherfucking song. I probably shouldn't have had it. You should have had my milky white ass up here. Like, what I was supposed to do? You said that word 16 times in these bars. I was supposed to just keep going. I ain't no rapper. Just fucking parroting what you wrote. Get the fuck out of here.
And let me catch up on some comments here.
Get the fuck out of here.
let me catch up on other comments here. Here we go. True. Fagging in English, cigarette, time and place matters, 100%. Cody's another guy. He was using it. Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, he was using it on every tweet 8 years ago. Right. Hopefully he deleted that shit. That could come back and bite him in the ass. My friend was at that concert, the Kendrick concert, and her boyfriend was black. That shit was so funny. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Nick looks black, doesn't he?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Nick could use the word for sure. It don't matter what he is. He can be Cuban, Puerto Rican. He gets fast for sure.
He ain't black. He ain't black.
Say the word.
Yeah, he could pulls off, dude. All right, you know, not saying that. Okay, not saying he should. I'm just saying like he don't. My only point is he looks black, but he's
Nick definitely doesn't use that word.
Dude, yeah, he doesn't. But for the longest time, dude, I thought he was black, and one day he like dropped on us. I think it was way back in the day. He goes, "Oh no, I'm not black. I'm Mexican." I'm like, "Fuck out of here! You're not Mexican. You're out of your mind." He goes, I don't know why I didn't believe it. He just, you know what I mean? Like I was like, "Yo,
he's Mexican."
Yeah,
I thought he was a terrorist. I didn't know he was
dude.
Hey.
Wow.
Nah, my boy Nick is one of my peoples, man. Anyway.
Well, fuck.
All right.
First.
So you're surrounded by him.
Yeah, Kendrick baited her to use that word.
That's
right. You know what? It looked like that.
Oh, stop it.
It did look like that when he did that. So.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, look. Again, it just goes to the example of like know your place, right? Like kind of, as the idiot likes to say, stay in your lane. You know, just.
That's true.
Don't do stuff like that.
Unless you're oppressing people financially, educationally, or criminally oppressing black people, then you aren't racist. Says Carrie Rose. There you go.
Yeah.
Terrorist. Yeah. It goes, wow, Fred.
Yeah, I mean, like to settle the point, like Fred said, like there's a big difference between how you grew up and how you use it, and when you're referring to a single person and trying to, you know, signify them as something. You know, right. When you use it like in that like hateful way or aimed at somebody because you're trying to demean them, that's totally different.
But look, with that being said, he shouldn't have used that word on social media.
Right.
I don't. Again, saying
stupid, not racist.
I grew up probably in similar circumstances, but you can't do that because a lot of people are going to be offended, and you have no right to tell them not to be.
Right.
Period.
Exactly.
Like you can't do that.
Yeah. So he's earned all the heat he's getting right now.
Right. For sure.
All right.
For sure.
Come back next week when we discuss abortion. All right, yeah. Oh shit, my boy Michael Ray is making a last second appearance. What up, dude? Oh, with the powerful Arizona Diamondbacks hat. There you go. I thought you were a Texas dude. All right. Anything else you guys want to bring up before we head out of here?
No,
real quick.
Okay, go
ahead, Jed.
I just wanted to throw a shout out to McMalley. I know we were talking about them before. I believe he did update saying that his brother was okay, but he initially tweeted that his brother was among the soldiers that was at the bases that were bombed. What was it, yesterday? The day before yesterday? Right. So, you know, this whole conflict and everything, it affects everybody in one way or another, whether we know the person, whether we don't know the person, personally, right? Like, this just extends to a lot of different people. A lot of fighters that, you know, come from that region as well will more than likely be affected by this. So, you know, it's just something that can be devastating to hear. So, you know, just well wishes to McNally and his family. the other thing I wanted to mention too was the Australia thing. Damn, wildfires suck, and I think it was raining yesterday, so hopefully everything's settled down there. But I mean, there's a lot of different people that are posting where you can donate money to help, relief efforts over there. There's a lot of things, where they're trying to help the animals, because I guess they were saying that half a billion animals have died over there. So, if you can do something, post it out. There are a lot of places where they have it posted. So look something up, do something.
Sorry, real quick. Yeah, definitely. But he's sitting right next to me as I type this. I didn't realize you guys lived together. All right. Yeah, dude. The first of all, like the whole, I hate anything about war. I think war is like, we can get into another whole show about that. We won't. But I just hope everyone's safe, dude. Stay safe out there. Troops and everyone out there, Iraqis too. Everyone out there, those they're living there. It's their fucking country. It's it's Iraq. So y'all just fuck. It's all fucked up. But hopefully
it's more than likely going to be a lot more chaotic over there than over here, anyway.
Right.
Generally speaking. So yeah, like fuck. Yeah. Those are the folks that I really feel bad for that are kind of stuck over there, because they're the ones that are actually vulnerable.
Right.
Like, in reality, for the most part, we're probably not all that vulnerable. That's why I try not to. I don't mind jumping into the racism shit, Jack. Y'all suck my dick, but I try not to get too heavily involved in the war shit, because motherfuckers be for real dying and shit.
Yeah.
Like that shit ain't really no joke like that. Like some motherfuckers for real get sent over to Iran behind shit like this. Like it's easy for me to be like, "This some bullshit, Jack." I don't really know enough, man. Motherfuckers be really dying, and I know my pale milky white ass ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
I'm a fucking bitch. I'm slow. I smoke too much. I ain't like, I'm not, y'all don't need me. I ain't going no goddamn where. So like, let me stay the fuck out of World War III fucking topics and shit. Let me just talk about these fights.
I gotta say that. See, just get us on
right. Like I am not trying to fuck around with none of that.
Yeah, I don't.
That shit. Fuck that.
I don't think it's gonna happen for real, but whatever. Yeah. So again, everyone stay safe. And then the wildfires. Goddamn. Fuck. Have you guys seen the videos of that shit? And like the sky is all red and whatnot. Like people having to live on boats and shit. Like goddamn.
That's horrific.
I heard some of those were started.
Yeah. Some of those were started. Like
a few of them were started by dickheads.
Some apparently.
You know what?
Find those motherfuckers.
I know we gotta get the fuck out. We got like 3 minutes. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We got a whole feature film we've been on tonight. But I swear to God, and this is such an ironic fucking statement, goofy statement. Shit like this is why I don't believe in God.
There you go.
You got some little fucking goofy Australian prick. To be fair, could have been somebody else, but probably some little goofy fucking Aussie. 200 people. Are you fucking kidding?
I did not know that.
These fucking jerks are just starting fires, fucking burning up koala bears and shit like that. I mean, what sort of fucking monster, goofy fucking animals are over there just catching half the world on fire because they're fucking bored? Or fucking Aussie incels or whatever the fuck their problem is. Where are you at, God? Fucking Buddha, Jehovah, all these fucking gods that all y'all be praying to. Stop with that praying. Like, where the fuck are y'all at when these fucking goofy humans are just catching the world on fire? Like,
I'm about to Google the fuck all that shit.
Fucking idiot, man. Like, with all the fucking pussy and buttholes and drugs that it is out there to do, you starting fires. What sort of a loser? Go fucking have some paint, do some Molly, snort some fucking cocaine, fuck some white girls. Whole bunch of fun to have out there. Or,
exactly.
Listen, just stick your snake somewhere.
Yeah, Fred, don't go nowhere. He gets his sneakers dirty. I know that's what Jesse was laughing about.
Right. That's what I was laughing about.
Anyway, all right, folks. That's good.
And Fred's got some fly sneakers, so I would hope that he doesn't get those sneakers dirty.
Right. That's right. I don't. Fuck that.
All right. Anything else, guys, before we get out?
Now we covered it, Jack. We, like I said, we at $1:30 and we got a feature film with y'all tonight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this will be up on iTunes and all that in the morning if you guys feel like listening to it again, and then obviously it'll be on here. What else was I gonna say? Oh, fuck. What else? Oh, okay. Yeah. So next week, obviously, UFC 246 fight week. We'll be talking fucking everything about it. So I mean, the 15th is what the is that early in the week? Is that like that might be Wednesday before the show?
Wednesday. It is Wednesday, I think.
So we'll be able to talk about that, whatever goes on. Yeah, so we would have talked about that. That's cool. We'll break down the whole card, any other news that comes out. We'll do that, right? Shout out to everyone that tuned in tonight. ELC Unbroken was here. MMA Gods as always. What's up? Jeremiah from the Hardcore MMA Show. We had an appearance from Nick X Micro and our boy Mike Reyes. And who else we got? Yeah, definitely arrest all those motherfuckers over there that started that fire. Kairos, appreciate all your input on this one, dude. Who else we got? QC was here. I know I'm gonna forget somebody, and it's fucking my bad.
Listen, thank God we had a black guy in the comment section when we were talking all that shit about race. We actually had a brother chime in. Diversity on this fucking show.
Seriously, next time we gotta get our homie either Tevin or who's the dude that was rolling the blunt? Ray.
Ray. Yeah, listen, Tevin looks like that motherfucker might be related to Osama bin Laden and Nick. Goddamn Kevin, he got something else in him, Jack. He like a fucking Indian or something.
All right, ELC, everybody else. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, you can find us on the all the fucking social medias and shit. KeyboardWarriorsMMA.com is the page. Ep.177 at Caribbean_MMA and at ELO32. RipTheWarriors.com, SpicesPros.com. If you go to Spices Pros, you actually want to order some shit. I believe our code is keyboard MMA, all one word, and you get 10% off. So fuck it, go get yourself some shit like seasonings and shit on that with a little bit like I think it's like 10% off. So go do that shit, folks. All right, it's gonna do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. For myself, Fred Kirby, just Wakaba. We are the Keyboard Warriors. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Catch you next week. Good night and good night, Wilshire.